The month of June has come and gone. Let's talk about how it went. Hello, fellow geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather, and I am glad you are here today. It's that time where we take a look back at the past month and talk about how things have gone as far as training is going, any races that are coming up on the calendar, anything new I may have tried over the course of the month. We'll look at what's coming up on the channel, and of course have our monthly Spotify running playlist in case you are looking for new running music this month. But for now, we're going to kick things off like we always do by taking a look back at the month in training. And honestly, I would be lying if I said that this month went the way that I expected it to, but we'll get to that. For now, let's take it to me in the past. Welcome to June. So here we are, beginning of the month. We're actually a couple of days in. Over the weekend, I did the Feel the Burn 30K. So this week is all about recovery because my legs are stiff and sore. So we're just going to focus on keeping things light and easy this week, and we're going to build back up into a nice easy run. I don't have anything in particular that I'm training for after this, at least not until around August or so. Doing some traveling, some vacationing, some theater, so definitely have a full schedule ahead of me. So this is all pretty much just easy runs and walks all week long. So I will catch up with you and let you know if and when I did a long run this weekend. All right, we're back for another week, and I've had a fantastic week of recovery, a very good build back into everything. So my coach has given me another sort of easy week. We're going to ease into a slightly longer long run for the weekend. This last one, we ended up doing 10K for our long run. I actually went a little beyond that just because I was feeling motivated and I wanted a nice long cool down. But we're going to move into something a little longer, slow run this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. As of this week, it is almost primarily all just easy runs, kind of like it was last week. I may sneak in a hill session because my next race, which is not until August, is the Scorching Squirrel, and as you who have watched the channel know before, that has just killed me with the hills that are on that course every year. I think I'm ready, and every year I'm not. So we're going to get a head start on those hills this year, get some extra time in this training vlog because I've got a lot of travel and family obligations and stuff like that. So we're going to get a head start on the training. That way we can stretch it out and take breaks when we need to. I am spending the week trying to stay on top of things because I'm about to do a little bit of traveling. So I'm trying to get stuff ready for the channel, get ready for travel, make sure that my runs are ready to go, and I'm getting my run time in. So this is kind of a headache of a week, but we're going to get through it one day at a time. And I will catch up with you next time I see you. I will be on vacation. So I'll see you then. And here we are on vacation. Whew, it is hot and humid in Florida. Who'd have thought? But since I don't have an actual training plan in place right now, I can kind of just do what I deem necessary throughout the week. And I was up late last night waiting for my little baby niece to be born. So a little bit tired today. For the most part this week, we're going to be doing some short and sweet runs. We are going to take the heat and humidity into account and slow the pace way down. We're not going to try and strain anything. I'm just out here to keep myself moving over this next week. So just kind of keeping it to 5K or so, sometimes 5 miles. Haven't decided what I'm going to do for a long run for the weekend, or if I'm going to do a long run this weekend. Just kind of depending on how the schedule plays out. So this is what you can do on vacation. You can choose to not run at all. You can choose to run a little bit. If you are hardcore into training mode, you can always stick with that. So it just kind of depends. But for me, I'm playing things by ear. I'm trying to get some movement in every day and just kind of keeping things sweet and easy. So I will be back with you next week when I'm back home again. I'll see you then. Hey guys, we are back home again, starting another week. My coach has put me on a new training plan in order to get me ready for the hills that I'm going to tackle in August. So since he knows that I can't always get out to trails to work on hills out there, he has me doing a lot of speed training on the roads. because we're going to work those same muscles. So if I can handle speed in the heat on the roads, then I should be able to handle hiking up hills once it gets to race day. That is our thought right now. So I'm having to think about how I'm handling speed sessions because it is triple digits, trying to keep things as safe as humanly possible. So although my paces are going to slow down, the effort is still there, which means that once we have cooler weather, same effort, going to give me good results. So a couple of speed sessions this week, some easy runs, and then a long run this weekend. I'll catch up with you after. All right, let's do a quick update now that we are at the end of the month. And let me just tell you that last week did not go as I had planned. My PT took a look at my hamstring and told me that I needed to take a week off of running so we could just kind of determine what some of the basis for my hamstring problem might be, and just to give myself more of a chance to recover, especially since I don't have a race coming up until mid-August. So really no reason to push myself at the moment. So every day ended up being pretty much just an easy walk because she said don't give up movement entirely. So a lot of walking, but no running. And so that's kind of killed all of my speed workouts and all of my easy runs, no long run. It's just been walking. Not exactly what I was expecting for the last week, but hey, I'm determined to get to the bottom of my hamstring problems and get this figured out. But that's it for July. Let's take it back inside. And that gets us through training for the month of June. So as I mentioned, it didn't exactly go according to plan. I mean, it's not like I had a huge plan to begin with, since I'm between training plans at the moment, just having started a new one for this next race. But you know, when you're on vacation, sometimes you got to let things go, especially when you're waiting for a baby to be born, because they are on their own schedule. And then of course, having to follow my PT's orders of, you know, don't push it with the running or anything. It's just kind of been one thing after another, trying to adapt and adjust, but sometimes that's what you've got to do. So the hope is that we can figure out what's been causing my hamstring problem for the last 5 years. I would love to get to the bottom of this and get it figured out, just so I could, you know, go for a run without having to worry about it for once. That would be fantastic. But for the most part, once we get back into running, we're going to focus a little more on hills, a little more on speed, in order to prepare me for the Scorchin' Squirrel, which we'll talk about a little bit more. Hopefully I'll be ready for all of those hills by then, because it always seems like I'm ready and then I'm not once I'm actually there. That pretty much wraps up how training went. It was unpredictable. I had to adjust a lot, and my hope is that over the month of July, we can kind of get back on track where I'm hoping to be. Next up, let's talk races. Now, the races that I ran over the past month, only one this month. That was the Feel the Burn Trail Run. That was a 30K. It's one that had been on my radar for a while, and I finally just pulled the trigger and decided I was going to run it this year. I'm going to have a link up here and down in the description in case you missed my video on that entire race. The TLDR is there was a lot of rain beforehand, and I found myself wading through mud and water going all the way up to my knees in some places. It was incredibly humid that day, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was a fantastic race. Of course, it was much slower than I was anticipating, just because I was having to deal with all the mud and the water, but I still managed to keep it under 5.5 hours, which for me, slow, but not that bad. I would love to do this again, maybe under better conditions, and see how I do with that. But overall, was really happy with how the race went. Highly recommend it to anyone that's in the area. It's run by Texas Outlaw Running. They do have other races in the South, so if you would like to check them out, I'll have a link to their website down below so that you can look at some of the other races that they offer. Everything is very chill, very laid back. The race organizers are incredibly on top of everything, and everything was just a great experience. If you didn't get a chance to see it, this is the medal for the race. As you can see, there were 3 distances available: 10K, 30K, and 50K. I went with the 30K just because I'm not feeling up to a 50K lately. And you'll also notice that it says 2023. The 2023 race was canceled last year, and so they were allowing everybody that registered last year to make it up this year, and then they also took in anybody who wanted to register for this year, which is where I fit in. again, super happy with this race. Glad I did it. And even with all of the mud and the rain and everything, it was a fantastic experience. So definitely check that out if you have a chance. As far as what is coming up on the race calendar, as I have mentioned many times in this video already, the Scorchin' Squirrel, that is a trail run that I do every year. It was my first trail run and I've just kind of come back to it every year since. There are 3 distances on that one, and again I go for the middle distance, which ends up being between 11.5 and 12 miles. As you know, in trail running there are no exact measurements, so you just kind of have to go with the flow. But there are a lot of hills, including that monster of a hill, which on Strava is just referred to as that hill, so everybody knows which one I'm talking about if you've been on that course before. This is out at Ferncliff Camp. It is all on jeep trails, so lots of ups and downs, couple of creek crossings. It is always a challenge for me and I absolutely love it. I kind of take my time with it, I have fun with it, and it's another one that has a really good aid station in the middle of the course. There's a cookout at the end of the race, and I have fun with it every year, and I'm always just trying to beat my time from the last year because I am still very middle of the pack runner on these, and I don't see that changing, but I do want to improve what I myself am able to do, even if I'm not moving up in the ranks, because for me, that's what it's all about, just being a little bit better than last time. So looking at the race calendar again, we have Scorchin' Squirrel coming up in August, and then I am looking at, it is not set in stone yet, but I am looking at doing a couple of half marathons coming up in December and another in January. So I do have that on the race calendar, just not officially yet, so keep that in mind. And as I have alluded to many times on the channel, I do have something big that'll be coming up, and that is going to be next fall. That's going to be in October of 2025, and this is, just to give you a little more information, this is going to be a team event that I'm participating in. And so once we have pulled the trigger on that and the entire team has kind of had a chance to come together and make our final decisions on that, then I will be giving a lot more information on that. But that is going to be set in my calendar, so I'm not going to schedule anything else around that because I do plan on doing that right there. But I do have some other races that I am looking at putting on the schedule, just a matter of logistics as far as travel availability. I am hoping to add more to the calendar soon, but these are the ones that are the closest to being set in stone. So that's what I've got coming up. So stay tuned so that you don't miss any of that. As far as any new gear or equipment that I have tried out, I didn't really go with anything new this month. Remember that last month I was trying out the Gel Kayano 30s from ASICS as a switch over to a stability shoe, and I did do an update this month on how they are doing after 100 miles. If you missed that video, I'll have a link up here and down in the description so that you can get caught up on all of that information. Long story short, they're working out well for me, and I'm looking at adding some other stability shoes into my rotation soon. And now a little bit about what's going to be coming up on the channel. Of course, we're going to have another episode of Run the USA where we're taking a look at the smallest state, the state of Rhode Island. If you have any races that you have run in Rhode Island that you would like me to know about, please drop those down in the comments below. We're also going to be having some more interesting information, some more fun facts, because a lot of you seem to really like those videos. I'm going to take another look at how I'm coming back from hamstring rehab with my training, so we'll take a look at that. And we also have another 30-day challenge to look forward to once I finish the editing on that, so you can look forward to what my latest 30-day challenge has been. And finally, just like we do every month, we're going to have a monthly Spotify playlist drop. The link is down in the description below. Every month I give you a list of about 10 or so songs, running you about 30 minutes or so. If you're looking for some new music to run to, then this gives you a place to get started. Maybe you're going out for a short run or a 5K, then this could be your soundtrack for that run. We'll also have a link down below to a mega list, the 2024 playlist. That's going to be all of the months put together that we've covered so far. So if you're looking for a lot more new music, then you'll find it all there. We'll also have a link to Welcome to the Geek Den. This is a playlist put together by you, the runners. So these are all different tracks that different people have suggested to me to put into one playlist. If you have any suggestions that you would like to add to the list, then make sure that you drop those down in the comments below. So there you go. That pretty well covers everything that has happened over the month of June as far as training and everything else goes. So I want to know how your month month is gone, and is there anything that you're training for? For those of you who are dealing with summer right now, how are you handling training in the heat? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're there, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Just click the button below. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it keeps you up to date on all the running content I have coming out all the time. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description. You can find me across all platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thanks so much for being here for another month. I'm so glad you could join me. Remember to laugh hard, run fast, and be kind. I will see you later.